And welcome back to Clutch Time. Today we're talking about players that are returning back to SimWorld U. And so let's go ahead and let's jump into it. And so if you haven't got a chance to see this, this was something that just got tweeted out yesterday from JK of CBS. And he reports that Ladarius Outlaw will be returning along with D. Woodley. You have Chai King, you have Dominic Bianco, and then also too Lorenzo Phenom, who are all going to be returning back to SimWorld U. And so let's go ahead and let's talk about it. And so let's start with Ladarius Outlaw. And so I think that with Ladarius Outlaw, you're looking at a player that was very good as far as scoring the basketball. I think that a lot of people would look at him and say he was definitely a two-way player. His numbers, 19.8 points, 4.7 rebounds, 5 assists a game, 1.2 steals, very good numbers. He shot 53% from the field, and he shot right around 35.9% from three. And so he was terrific as far as scoring the basketball. The one thing that he would have to work on in this next season is to cut down the turnovers. And so I think him coming back is certainly going to help him. As far as his draft stock is concerned, it might actually play against him. And this is something that maybe a lot of people are going to be listening to this and say, well, what do you mean? He's a junior. And so coming out as a senior, one of the things that GMs really value is they value young prospects. They like to see the prospects that are coming out earlier, because what they want to do there is they're banking on the longer upside that they're going to have with that player. Versus if you take a player that is more experienced, that is coming back for another season, you wonder, is that player tapped out with their potential? Excuse me. And so that's one of the questions for whoever is going to be eligible for this upcoming draft. And when I say eligible, obviously he'll be in there with whoever else is coming out next season. And so that could go against Ladarius Outlaw, but I certainly think him cleaning up the turnovers is going to help him out. He's got a good size at 6'5", 213. And so I don't think that that's going to be an issue as far as size or whatnot. We'll see if, he ends up putting on some more muscle or whatnot, because, players definitely put in the work over the summer. And so that's another thing that could maybe improve his draft stock as well. Like, what if he goes on another growth spurt or something like that? I don't know. But anyway, let's go ahead and let's move on to another player that was mentioned, and that is going to be Dominic Bianco. And so I liked his game a lot. I think defensively, this is a guy that certainly just, I think he got after it. And so I loved how he defended at a high level. Looking at a guard that I think he has terrific basketball IQ with the 4 assists per game, 5.5 rebounds a game, and 14.7 points a game. And so I love that. 50% from the field. He was 33.8 from downtown, so not bad. One of the things about him is he's going to need to improve as a jump shooter. And he's got the small stature. So it's 6 feet, 190. Again, I don't know if there's going to be, any kind of growth spurt there, or if there's going to be some added muscle with him. But at the end of the day, look, he is a smaller guard, and that is something that is certainly going to play against him. You're looking at a player that is not very comfortable shooting the jump shot, and so that's something he would have to get better at. And so another year of college, I think, is going to help him. He was projected a second round pick, excuse me. And so, do I think that he can improve and maybe be a late first rounder? Sure, but he's a junior. He'll be going into a senior year. And I think that same question, the same one with Ladarius Outlaw and really the rest of these players, is that they're upperclassmen, and that a lot of these GMs and, just these people who run teams in the SWBA level, they value the younger prospect. And so that's something that could go against them. Next, Lorenzo Phenom. And so out of Michigan, look, I love the fact that you're looking at a big that is just solid in the post. I think that is something that is very underrated in today's basketball. Is just a player that can get down there and can score buckets in the post. And so I think that Lorenzo Phenom can certainly get it done for you. 17.7 points a game, 8.5 rebounds a game, 1.4 assists, 52.6% from the field. he only shoots 8.8 from three and 68% from the free throw line. And so the thing about him is he is projected to be a first rounder. The knock here is that he needs to improve his toughness. And so would another year of college help him? Yeah, I think for sure another year playing would help him out. Does he get to that level of toughness that, people start to say, hey, this is a tough player that we definitely want to take a chance on? I'm not sure. Measuring toughness is not something that just shows up into the stat sheets and things like that. I think it's a lot of little things like that that really, maybe improve a player's toughness as far as maybe what a GM or a scout is looking for. And so he'll have a chance to do so. I think for him, maybe just being a bit more physical and dominating his matchups would be a good start there. Defensively, maybe he becomes just very stout there on the defensive end. I think that could definitely improve maybe what people are thinking as far as the toughness is concerned. But once again, I mean, you're talking about a player that you're going to get better playing, another year of SimWorld U. But again, as a junior, you're going to be a senior now. And then you don't know what you're going to get from the underclassmen. And that it's going to push them, I think, above these players. And so there's a real chance that they could get pushed down in next year's draft class. But we'll see what happens. Maybe these underclassmen perform, but I think that he's right there in the same boat as the other two players that I've talked about. And so lastly, when it comes down to D Woodley, and so I know I don't have anything here with D Woodley up, but going back to that tweet. And so with D Woodley, look, I thought that he was tough for Jackson State. And when you talk about toughness, I think that if you could take D Woodley and his toughness and give it to Lorenzo Phenom, like it would be over. But, as far as being a smaller guard, it's going to be tough for him at the next level. I think that, he's going to show us how terrific he is as a scorer, as a leader and everything else. And so I don't think that thing is going to change there at Jackson State. The question is, I don't see any type of, major growth spurt coming. I mean, does he put on a little bit more muscle and stuff like that? I mean, I'm sure that's going to be, a bit impressive to, the people who are drafting at the next level. But I don't think that that's going to be enough to just really rise him up a draft board in a major way. But I do enjoy watching D Woodley compete. And I think really the biggest winner out of him coming back is Jackson State and Mo Williams. I think that with him back another season, Jackson State really has a chance to make some noise. And I think that they did pretty well considering that D Woodley did go down with an injury in the tournament. And so you're hoping that he comes back. He gets a little bit better over the summer, which I'm banking he will. I've not heard that he doesn't have the work ethic or anything like that. And like I said, this guy is just tough as nails. And so he's certainly going to help Jackson State. I just don't know if another year is going to really help his draft stock. I think that he's still a player that he's probably, I think he's a second rounder to me. I mean, like I said, he's an undersized player. I think he definitely gets a shot. But we'll see what happens. And I mean, a lot of things could, turn around going into this next season. I mean, maybe the prospects coming out next season are not as good. I mean, that's something that we just really don't know what's going to happen next year when it comes down to the SWBA. But anyway, you guys let me know in the comments what you guys are thinking about this most recent news with these players returning back to SimWorld U. Do you feel like that these players going in next season as upperclassmen, do you feel like that is going to hurt their draft stock? Do you feel like, even though they're going to be upperclassmen, they're going to be older, you feel like that GMs, are going to feel like, hey, there's still a lot of untapped potential with these players, because that is something to think about. If you can get a talent in that's a little bit younger, that you have some more time maybe with that upside. So you guys let me know in the comments what you guys are thinking. And as we always say, let's see the game and be the game. We'll see you on the next one. All right, peace.